No, I didn't get kicked out. I just was like, this sucks. And I'm like, this place is awful. And everybody was like dancing and all like the popular kids. I was kind of like I just didn't fit in with everybody. So I was like,
in
I
your
had
head.
like 2 friends.
I think that's in your head.
No, I was mean. So like.
You weren't one of the popular kids?
No, fuck no. No one liked me.
I can't figure out why.
Just so agreeable.
It's just
Just a bask of polite and joy.
Yes, if she stood there with a smile on her face and didn't talk, it would be fine.
I didn't.
And then you speak to her, and it's like,
You barely pulled a smile off, honestly.
It was bad. I was literally like, I'd sit there with like my pencil thin eyebrows and like awful braces and just be like, I hate everyone. So it was good. I was dating like the world's dumbest dude. Yeah. I pushed everyone away. I only had like 2 best friends, and they were sisters, and they didn't even like each other. So it was really awkward hanging out with both of them. So are you ready?
You guys are already going.
Oh, we are? Oh.
Jeff is very good like that.
Yeah. Damn. The trickery right now. Like, okay. Well, welcome back to Mother, I'm Sorry.
Yeah.
Obviously,
The
we're
prom
gonna start,
version.
It's the prom version. The Promzilla. That's gonna
That
be
was you.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna name this episode. It's just Promzilla.
You were definitely a Promzilla.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. Well, picking out my dress in the first place was hard enough.
Yep.
So
We went to that cute little place on the Cape, the boutique cargo something. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it, but they had so many sparkly dresses.
Beautiful dresses. Yep.
Loved them all.
And we found your dress there.
And I looked like a legitimate Barbie doll.
You did.
Bright blonde hair.
Gorgeous pink dress.
Pink satin.
Satin.
With the crested things on the top. Like very, like, 2008 dress.
Rouged.
Is that what it's called?
Like something like that. Rouged. I don't
have
know.
no idea. I don't know what the dress
Anyway.
things are. But I remember I was like, I don't want to get my hair done by anybody else because they're not going to do what I want.
Yeah.
'Cause
Had
I
to do your
remember-
own hair.
Had to, which, I mean...
You did your friend's hair and makeup, and then you did your hair and makeup, and you were mad because you offered to do their hair and makeup, and then you went and did other people's hair and makeup, and you were mad because you weren't having enough time to do your hair and makeup, and I had to hear about it.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I do. I remember that. I remember that clearly. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean, it's all right. But everybody liked the way I did my makeup when I was younger. So, whatever. I think, remember me and, like, the girl that lived with us
Yeah.
had the same dress. But, like, we
Very
literally
similar.
looked like...
She was in gold.
She was in gold.
Yeah.
And then I was in pink, and we looked like the opposites.
Yeah, and
like,
you were
it was
pissed
so
off
funny.
about that too.
Yeah, because she went and got the same fucking dress as me.
She didn't know at the time.
She lived with us.
Okay,
She
well,
knew
you
what my
didn't go
dress
dress
looked like.
shopping at the same time, Devin, so she didn't really know. She looked gorgeous in it. You both did. It didn't matter. It made beautiful pictures. You both looked very pretty. You did.
She had the same fucking dress.
Yeah, and you both looked great.
I hated that so much. I still hate
Like
it.
you were the bride and somebody else was wearing white at your wedding.
Well, yeah. I was like, how fucking dare you do the same? What? Like, no. Because she used to also steal my shit all the time.
Oh,
Remember
whatever.
how
You
many
lived.
outfits?
She lived with it, and I lent her my clothes because she had things that she was a nice kid. You begged for me to have her live in the house with us, and I did. And then 2 weeks later, you guys don't get along. It's a disaster. The poor kid is now living in my basement. I felt terrible. She was such a nice kid. She was a nice kid. In the end, you have to say that.
She
You
was
must
a nice
admit,
kid, but
yes.
we obviously should not have lived together.
No, but it's your best
well,
friend, and I really want her to live with me. and
Yeah,
please,
until
please,
she
please,
brought a girl-
and we can share clothes. And then you're like, she stole my clothes.
I mean,
So-
you should have seen that
so,
coming because I
okay.
had a sister, and I would always get pissed off at my sister for stealing my clothes.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like that's on you. Where
No,
you should
not
have
on
known.
me. No.
Yeah.
On
I'm
me
not-
is that I caved
I'm
into
not
it.
even sorry about
On
the
me is
clothes
that I
stealing.
caved into it because, and I'll tell you, I caved into it because her mother was in the Air Force.
No, her
and
father.
Her mother was in the Air Force. Her
Oh,
father's
was
a
her-
Carson.
yeah.
Her mother was in the Air Force, and they had moved the mother to a new base, and she wanted her daughter to finish high school here. And I said, okay, let's do this then. You know, I did it. I was
I
like,
know.
Devin's going to be a pain. They'll share a room for like 10 minutes together, and then I'll have to find
No,
somewhere
the
else to
reason
go.
why I kicked her out of my room okay, was because she brought a girl home and like they did the deed in my bed and I walked into my room and it smelled like vagina.
Oh God. Devin.
Okay, so I was literally like, this is fucking gross. Don't do this in my bed. I'm like, go to her house. If you're sharing a bed with me, and I remember I had like black satin sheets in my room, you let me have a porn star bed.
You got it. I don't even know how you got it. I think your father gave you those.
Well,
Bought them for you.
no, actually, my grandmother got me the black satin because she was like, Devin will love this. Because she's like, obviously, Grammy kind of knew I was dark and twisted. And so she's like, yeah, get her the black ones.
And then Shannon put satin pajamas on.
And
with the
slid
satin
right across the bed.
Slid across. Went to jump on the bed. Slid across. Hit the wall on the floor.
She was like, what the fuck?
Was a
But
big-
then we all put
was a huge
satin
thud.
things on because we were like, wait, can I slide? But no, I also had the
Became an event.
purple like shag blanket that Justine gave me. Mm-hmm. And so like at the end of the day, my room, I walked in and I was like, this
It
is
looked kind of like the
bed.
studio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
except
very
for
much
green,
my
It
vibe.
had purple. Yeah.
Yeah, it was black and purple.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's why I was like, get out of my room. I'm like, you made it smell like dirty vagina.
Oh my God. Why do you have to say things like that?
I have a colorful vocabulary.
Yeah.
You raised me.
Colorful.
It's colorful. It's all vivids.
It's quite vividly colorful. Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Again, sorry to my family if they hear me talk like this.
Yeah.
You're like, sorry.
So the hair and the makeup you had to do on your own. And
Well, I
then,
wanted
then,
to do
then I
mine on
wanted
my
to
own.
take pictures. You know, we wanted to take pictures with the family. And all the boys that asked you to the prom, you said no to every single one of them.
Yeah.
You got to ask by like 5 people.
I got asked by 3 people. One was very, very pissed off at me. One was Eric, and I was like, I can't go with you. My family hates you. So that's
Yeah,
a big
we're not
no.
taking pictures of you.
Yeah, I was like, my mom will literally, I'm like, I'm already a bitch enough.
She
like,
might
if
throw darts at you.
Yeah, I'm like, she might literally just be like, yeah, get in the picture, back, like, just whack you in the face. But yeah, so he asked, I said no. And then there was, I'm going to call him TC. It's the initials. All through high school, this kid literally fucking stalked me. And it was pretty bad. Like, he was really annoying. Like, the one time I finally agreed to go on a date with him, we went to the movies and I wore Shannon's new sweater. And like, Shannon was literally, I will never forget this. She's like, don't ruin my fucking sweater, Devin. I just
And
got
you
it."
ruined it.
I didn't ruin it. He was dumping popcorn on me the whole fucking time. And then there was like oil spots. And I was like, can you stop putting popcorn on me? I'm like, I get that you're trying to flirt with me, but this is the worst shit ever. This is by far the worst date I've ever
annoying.
been on. I was like, you piss me off so much. And so he would always get like really jealous of when I was dating Eric and then when I was dating Danny. So the poor guy was just like really infatuated and I had no idea why. I was like, I don't know why you like me. I'm so mean to you. I'm like,
That might have been the attraction.
probably. I was like, do you like the abuse? Like, I literally make fun of you all the time.
You
I'm like,
could.
you're so annoying. But I remember around prom, he was in the Marines and he was living in California because that's where he, like, I think he was in, what's the school there? There too. Like the
29 Palms?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where he was.
Yeah.
So he was there, and then he was like, I'll take you to prom. And I was like, I really don't want you to take me to prom. And he's like, I'll wear my dress blues.
Oh,
I'll do
yeah, that
this."
would have been so impressive.
And he really wanted to do it because my brother was a Marine. So he's like, oh, I'll show off for her. And I'm like, ugh, I don't think you understand.
It's kind of funny how people wanted to impress you and at the same time
2 guys joined the Marines. 2.
because of him.
Yeah. Yeah. So he without telling me
Amazing.
bought plane tickets and flew out and made sure that he was home for my prom so he could take me. And I still said no. I was like, no, fuck off. I really don't want to go.
So you never made any definite plans and he flew here and expected to be able to just show up like he was
like knight in
Tom
shining
Cruise
armor.
and
I'm
yeah.
like, I was like, I don't think you understand that, like, trying to impress me by like being like my brother.
Well, I'm kind of glad that you shot him down because, you know, you don't get to ask a woman and a woman says, no, thank you. and doesn't make plans with you, and then you just gonna
I
try to
said
force yourself
no.
on. I'm gonna be your date. No, you're not.
No, I'm very adamant
for
with
you.
people. I'm like, no, fuck off. I do not want you. You
So
need to
I'm
just
I'm
take
kind
it.
of proud that your stubbornness served you well there.
For the
I
most
think.
part in relationships, it's
But you were
served well
still
with that.
Promzilla.
No, I was. I know. I was.
You were still cranky.
I also
the whole
had
time
MRSA
you were
on
so
my,
cranky.
I had MRSA on my face. Remember, I had like goo coming out.
You were mad.
and I was like, "Oh my god, that's happening!"
You were
like,
mad
trying to
about
cover
everything.
It. I was 17 years
You
old.
were mad at the world.
I made them take my braces off.
Oh, that's right, because you didn't want $5,000 I had to put on in for those braces, and you tortured the orthodontist, and your grandmother took you and said, "Emer, just have them take them off her. Just have them take them off." And I was like, "No,
Granny
they
yelled
need to
at the
be on
ortho
I don't know.
for me,
You and
though.
Granny, I don't know what happened. She was taking you
He
to
was
your
an
ortho
asshole to me.
appointments, and she said she didn't like the way he was behaving.
He was like really rude to me.
I'm surprised at my
And-
mother, because if that were me and my mother going to the ortho, my mother would have kept those things on until the deadly end. Even if the guy was a jerk, she would be like, "Listen, I've
She
paid for
basically
these.
told
they
him
have
to
to
shag
stay."
off.
She did.
She did, like
And
a
took
few
you and
times.
left.
And she was like, "We're leaving," and I was like, "Yeah, fuck you. My granny has my back." And she still does. Granny's my ride and die. Ride or die. That's what it's called. Not ride and die. That sucks. Bad. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty bad. But I remember I was crying in the dentist's
had to
office
have them off.
until they would take them off. And the guy was like, "Fuck this little shit." And he was so mean to me because
Yeah.
I was so like, he was like, "Are you
You were
chewing
so
gum?" I'm
angsty.
like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You can't chew gum. You're
weren't-
breaking your rubber bands." And I'd be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I want gum." I'm like, "Whatever."
Just so you know, orthodontists and should your son ever need one, they are not covered by dental insurance. And I didn't have flex spending at that time, so none of that was covered. That money was coming out of mom's pocket
I love you.
for those teeth. And then you didn't even wear the retainer.
No, I did, but I cut my gums
Okay.
and I threw it out.
It's bring it. I do. I got Invisalign. I wear my retainer.
No,
at
the
night.
retainer-
It,
I
it
didn't
just
get, like, a
brings back
mother-
so much anger that I put all this money into making sure that she had a beautiful smile and that her teeth would be straight, and she wanted that done, and she begged for me to do that for her, and I did it, and just the teenager. My mother helped her get away with it, taking them off early when I was saying no.
Again.
And I can't fight my own mother. I
Again.
just can't. You don't know my mother. She's 5'2", and she's will
terrifying.
cut you.
She's
Like,
fucking terrifying. But she's the biggest
she's a
badass I've
badass.
ever met in my life. So lucky to have
And
such a
I-
BAMF grandmother. But like, she literally had my back every single time
I
the
know.
guy was rude. She's
I
like,
know.
"Shag off, you don't talk to my
I
granddaughter
know.
like that."
And
I
I
was like,
wanted to say, and I did ask her a couple times. I was like, "Mom, are you sure it's just not Devin having an attitude? Are you sure it's not?" No. It was the man, and the man wasn't nice, and he wasn't nice. And I was like,
she did not like the way that he talked to me.
okay.
So I'm just gonna be very honest. Like, she really hated
So
that.
it was an uphill battle against my mother and my daughter to keep braces that I had spent a lot of money on that I didn't have money for, but spent it on it anyway. And she took them off early.
Okay, but with the retainer, I didn't have like a normal, like, metal retainer that all my friends got. And I was like, okay, well, like, that I'll wear at night, whatever, because it just keeps everything in place. I got like the Invisalign one, and he made it so high that it cut the top of my gums, and he's like, "Stick wax on it." I'm like, no.
Oh, that's what he said. Well, you could have sanded it down. I would have found a way. Those things are expensive.
But, well, I tossed it out. I was like, fuck this thing. Fuck that guy. I think that was his way of getting back at me for being a little
Maybe it was.
douchebag.
Maybe
He was like, fuck
It
this
was.
kid and make her gums bleed. I'm
maybe
like,
maybe it was.
but no, so like back to like the prom stuff. So we finally get there after I was a total twat the entire time. And I showed up in a Prius. Remember, my friend had the Prius?
You wanted to go with a group of your friends, and your friend had a Prius.
Yeah. We stole that Prius from her mom so many times when we were like not licensed drivers. Just saying.
Good things. There we go again. It's incriminating. Here we are.
Timestamp it.
Everybody's.
It's fine. We were 16.
Grand Theft Auto.
I won't name the friend.
What's the statute of limitations on these things? We have to look stuff up.
I was like,
So far we have attempted murder.
and now Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft
So it's,
Auto.
like,
What
totally
else?
fine.
You guys have any shoplifting?
So
I've never done anything like that at all. I'm thinking they're good. They're doing good
do you know
things.
that every person that I know that describes you says your mom is literally the most fiery person I've ever met in my life?
No.
Yeah. They're like,
No.
oh, Emer's a savage. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, you're shocked that your children are all like a little nuts?
I don't know why people would say that, and I don't know what they mean. I worked all the time. I worked a lot.
Yeah, and then when you had fun, you had some fun.
I had fun. I had fun. Work hard, play hard.
Yeah, the play hard I remember very.
Okay. Well,
very
you don't
much
remember
so.
me working hard.
No, I do. Because, we had to sit there while you were crossing guard and Shannon's naked in the car.
She was 2.
She
was
stripped
1.
down everything.
1 or 2. Yeah.
Whatever. Shannon always got naked.
Oh.
She was just like, whatever.
Don't say it like that.
She was a little kid. She was a
thought
child.
it was
funny.
like a baby. Yes.
All the boys now always get naked and they just do the elephant
when they all
thing.
came
And
back,
they're like,
yeah,
look it.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
They do.
But no, so by the time we got to prom, I met up with Danny, like my best friend since kindergarten. And her and I are walking around, literally just talking shit about everybody. And we're like, look, that one looks like shit. What the fuck is she wearing? Like, we're just like really mean. And we had plans to go to the Cape.
Yeah.
And one of the boys that I turned down, he was actually picking us all up. He never went to prom because I said no.
So he didn't get to go to the party, but he was the cab driver afterwards.
like the
I
cab
wonder
driver
why
to
he
the-
might have been upset. Didn't
Well, what he did was so fucked up, and I will never forgive him.
Yeah.
Like, I see him now, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, you.
It was kind of sick. Yeah.
It was twisted.
I was very upset about it.
Yeah, so.
It was a beautiful dress that I purchased. That was again money I didn't have to spend, but I spent it.
yeah, it was like a
It was
$300
beautiful
dress. That was very expensive for us.
It was a beautiful dress.
But,
We can't talk about what he did.
oh, we're going to. Oh, we're going to. It's so basically.
Everyone wants to know.
It was really bad. So we leave. We obviously we have like a 30 rack in the back of the giant minivan that we're driving like to the Cape, and we're going to our friend's house that isn't even from our high school. But he was like, "Yeah, come party at my house after."
yeah, you go to the Cape after. I did
Yeah.
that with my friends.
Yeah, and like we were on a lake and everything.
Yeah.
So what we did was like we got there. And he was like a dick to me the entire time. Like, did not like me. He was so upset with me for not going to prom with him. And I was like, whatever, fuck you. Like, I really don't care. I'm going to play root and have a time. So I took off my dress and got in, like, my party clothes. And he went ahead and pissed on my prom dress when it was in the other room and put his cigarettes out on it.
She got home with the dress.
And there were
I looked at it.
cigarette
I was like,
burns.
"There's a cigarette burn in your dress. You got a cigarette burn in your dress."
And I was like, I
I
didn't
was so
smoke in the
upset. I'm like,
dress.
I was
'Cause
gonna.
I was a
Your
smoker, but,
sister
like-
could have worn this dress. You could have saved this dress for other occasions.
Shannon did end up wearing the dress. You guys got it fixed, but it was like
Beautiful dress.
But the fact that he did it and then he was
You
like,
had to
I didn't
shorten
do
it.
that. I didn't do that. I'm like, I didn't piss in my prom dress, buddy. I'm like, I took it off before I started drinking. Well, I was drinking in the road sodas.
Oh God, whatever.
But like,
I don't want to know.
Everybody has road sodas on the way to the Cape when you're in high school.
Don't want to know.
So
Drinking and driving.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
I mean,
so
I
we're
wasn't
gonna add
driving.
that to the whole thing. She wasn't driving.
I
though,
wasn't
thank God.
driving, and I don't think he was.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think he was drinking during
Right,
that.
I'm
car
sure
ride.
that the one.
Yeah, the one person. But we were all
Waited till he got
hammered by the end of it. And
And I'm sure he wasn't annoyed by the drunk teenagers in the car he had to drive with, and then got there and was sick of y'all, and you wouldn't give him any attention.
yeah, well, he can go fuck himself. I
So
didn't want to
he
go with
was-
him. When
But
met
that's
him-
very, unbelievable that someone would
well,
do that.
when brother met him, he was literally like, I don't like this kid. There's something fucking weird about him. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, actually, he is really weird. And I was like, I agree. Don't like him. Don't want to go with him. So I refused. And ever since he was like, obviously, super dick to me because he pissed on my dress. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, who does
But,
that?
you know, me and a couple of the other people there kind of got back at him. What we did was made sure his drunk ass
Oh, I never heard this.
went
Okay.
on a float into the middle of the lake. And it was like a big float. And we just drifted him off into it. And I was like, go fuck yourself.
Was that during the day or in the middle of the night?
Middle of the night. Looking back, if he had drowned,
That would have been
that would have been really bad. But some of the other people felt bad for him. I don't know why.
Devin.
And they paddled out and got him and brought him back. And I was like, let him just wake up.
Devin
like
was
that.
willing to watch him float
I
away
was
into the
like,
abyss.
Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself. I'm like, that was my favorite dress. I'm like, and you're
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
My mother's gonna kill
Yeah,
me.
I'm like, if I don't kill you, my mom is, so I might as well just put you out now. So
You
like,
give her
drift
your
off,
name and
bud.
address. You're
Yeah.
safer out there.
I'm like, just drift off. No one needs to see you ever again. You're a piece of shit.
How much are the dresses anyway?
Yep.
It was like $300
or more, at
I
least.
think it was. Well, back then that was like,
Yeah.
you know, it was crazy.
It's a good
I'd never,
amount. I never bought myself a dress for that much money.
I'd never had anything like that cost that much that I put on my body. We loved TJ Maxx, and that was
Yeah.
our place. So I'm like, me going into this fancy dress shop, I was like, holy shit, I'm really gonna
Yeah,
get one
it
of
was a
these
big
dresses.
deal, and it was a special occasion. It was a gorgeous dress, and I was like, okay, this is the first time she's going to a formal event where she would be wearing a gown, and that's what prom is. It's a first.
Yeah,
you're
you went all out
teaching
for me on
kids
that one.
to dress formally, to be, you know, it's their first formal event, and it's one that they can be goofy and stupid at, but. You know, you're like, listen, this is, you want to look your best, and this is just how this goes. And he absolutely disrespected desecrated the dress.
my dress. You know, it's funny though because he
Yeah.
still sucks. I still hate
And
that kid.
Devin was afraid to tell me who exactly did what, because she knew that I would have gone
I
out,
knew that you would have
hunted
been-
him down, and done worse than push him out in a float in the middle of the lake.
I thought I did him a favor by
She
pushing
did
him
do
out.
him a favor.
But I did get back at him a few years later.
She did him a favor.
He was. This was funny. I showed up at a party and like I had to come like make my and like a couple of his friends come because we were like, oh shit, this is like a hot mess and we need help from like older people. But this kid was passed out. The same dude that peed on my dress was passed out in the bathtub with vomit like all over him.
Ugh.
And I took pictures of him and was like, stupid motherfucker. And I posted it on Facebook. And I was like,
You didn't have Facebook then.
yeah, we did.
You had MySpace.
No, it was Facebook.
Oh, you had Facebook?
Yeah, senior year we ended up getting Facebook.
Oh,
But
okay.
I put that up and he was like, why would you do this? I'm like,
Oof, that is
You're
cruel.
a piece
That's
of shit.
cruel. Well,
so. I mean, he
Yeah.
went on to marry my
can't
best
say you didn't
friend.
deserve. She divorced him 10 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's the guy. Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He did some questionable shit too. So I don't like him.
Yeah, he's
But
been
again,
odd.
he went on to be a too.
Yeah.
So like all these idiots, and I love them. But like
well,
there are certain ones that join. Are you dying?
I'm all right. I swallowed the wrong way.
Okay.
The
there are
ones
certain
we
ones-
know,
the ones
the
we know
ones
are
we know
wonderful. But then
Are amazing and awesome. They're
Yes.
savages themselves, but they're amazing and
they're
awesome
badass, and I love them.
Yeah.
But there are certain ones I'm like, you fucking idiots.
But you know, no matter where there are weird people everywhere. There are people who just, it doesn't matter.
in every job, there's somebody
No
that's a
matter
dumb
what it
shit.
is, yeah.
I
There's always
mean,
an
I've
idiot.
worked with some really fucking weird people, but like with that whole situation with prom, it was like. I honestly, I look back at that experience and I get so jealous of my sister because I'm like, you had like the perfect prom experience and everything was great. And I did her hair, so she's fucking blessed because she had a great hairstyle.
She looks
sister.
fabulous, yeah.
And she wore one of my dresses. She went to like 4 proms.
She did go to a
And
few
I'm like,
proms.
damn, everybody loves Shannon.
But her, well, she was very gentle and kind and
Well, because she had-
soft-spoken, very.
She had me as a sister,
Different-
so she was like, I'm going to do the exact opposite of Devin.
That's
so
what
I'm
she did,
not,
yeah.
yeah. And she says it to me to this day. And I'm like, I know. But
So you taught her. So you did a good
I
thing,
taught
really.
her. Okay, so you're all welcome. That I made sure Shannon was so great
And
because
then
I
her
was
bro-
so
and
bad.
then her brother showed up in his uniform at the prom, and they're all like, "Oh boy."
Oh yeah, everybody has a crush to this day. I'm
Well,
literally
it's not
like,
even that. It's just, she was like, "Okay, I know the 5-0 is watching. I got
Oh, they didn't even care about that because I mean, he was showing up to be like
He
cool big.
just wanted to.
But
Well, it's prom.
Yeah.
He went to see his sister. He
I
loves
know.
his family.
I know. Whatever. Perfect. We all know. Don't even lie about it. It was literally all of you. And then I was the problem child, which like,
Wait a second. Here comes Here comes the angsty teen. Can you see the angsty teenager that's showing up? Right here, she is. She just came back. She just rushed back in.
Making me angry.
Yeah, I make a lot of people anxious.
Hands are shaking
Jeff,
on the camera.
He's
Jeff
like,
is
wait
act-
a minute,
Jeff
like, what's
is-
happening?
He's actually afraid because he's got a daughter and he's going to see a little bit of
Well, good luck during prom,
a
because
possible future.
If anybody pees on your kid's prom
Crystal
dress,
ball
I'll
them.
come for them. Don't worry.
Devin will come.
I will-
and,
I will
make sure she
handle
takes
it.
care of it.
But like that was like the worst fucking prom experience ever. I'm like, are you serious?
yeah.
This is my prom.
And when did you discover that he did that? That night or the next day?
Next day,
Next day.
he was just a dick to me. That's why we
Yeah.
threw him off to the
Yeah.
depths of the water.
Uh,
I was like, go fuck yourself, drown, asshole.
Let's play devil's advocate here. How aggressively did you decline him? Did you say anything awful to him, or did you? Just
Oh,
no?
that's a good
No,
question.
so he
Not
first,
that it justifies.
No.
it doesn't
Uh,
justify the
Like
dress.
pissing on the dress, but
Yeah.
do
I
wanna
was
hear
I
Yeah.
was worse to
how awful you were
TC
to him.
about, obviously because he flew all the way out. But to
well, he
him-
was. That was very aggressive of him to assume.
yeah, don't fucking
start
assume
there.
anything with me first of all.
Yeah.
But he asked me on the we were sitting by McDonald's and I always wanted one of those really cute prom go to prom with
Oh,
me.
it wasn't a big enough ask.
It
This
wasn't.
is what happened.
He asked me on his fucking mom's minivan. I was like, no.
There were no signs over the highway. There was no
Yeah, you weren't looking for
fanfare.
Cinderella, did you?
Yeah,
I
a
wanted-
dance, like people to come out and do the whole
If
thing.
you don't do a flash mob
That
for
flash
me,
mob dance.
then you can go fuck yourself. That's how I felt about it.
Had you would have said yes.
No.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's why
He
he was
wasn't
like,
cute. I was literally just not attracted to this person. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want my prom pictures with you.
oh
to
God,
be honest
that's
with you.
what it was. It was the prom photos. You're a little shorter than me. You're kind of plump. I really don't. You don't. Your style.
Yeah, he was like a chubby, weird dude.
I don't like
with
your
the nose that
style.
went up and I was
All
like,
right, so
absolutely not.
it was absolutely that he was not attractive enough to be in her photos that would last her a lifetime.
The only man that
You know,
was good enough.
I can't say that that's. I really can't. I can't say that's terrible. I'm a shallow person myself in that way.
I'm very
sometimes,
vain,
too.
and
It's
I'm
fine.
very. I know
Sorry.
that I'm super
It
vain.
is what it is.
But
It is what it is.
the only man that was good enough to be in my prom pictures was my granddad. Okay,
That's true.
because he
was the
rolled
most
up on his
handsome.
motorcycle.
He
and
rolled
that
in
was
like
the
a-
only one
like-
that I was like, all right.
like a rock star
Yeah.
on his yellow motorcycle and your
So it's
pink
like,
dress
"Meh."
and yep.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And we had great prom photos of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't even tell I was being a bitch that day.
No, because you look so innocent and
I was
happy
like-
next to your grandfather.
Yeah, I'm like this little blonde Barbie doll, and my mom's sitting there like, this fucking bitch tortured me all fucking day, and I'm like,
And your grandfather thought you were an angel and a saint.
He does.
Yeah.
His Christmas card to me this year was the picture being like,
Yep.
I love you. I'm like, I'm like, he adores his granddaughters. It's fine.
In some weird way, he understands you.
He does.
Yeah.
They all do.
Yeah.
No, not all of them. For the most part, I feel like my aunts kind of understand me now.
Yeah.
But every single time I talk to them, they're like, thank God you're not the way you were. I'm like,
So there was a time, Jeff. There was a time when Devin was. She was so bad, and I have 3 sisters, so I would talk to my sisters who are my best friends.
oh, I know where this is going.
So discussing with my sister Cara, who's now a major in the Army.
oh, God.
At the time, she might have been a lieutenant. I don't think she was.
This
a
was how they
I don't think
tortured
she
me.
was a captain.
They
But she was in the Army, and she was down in D.C., and she was working. I don't think she was working full time for the Army. I was trying to remember.
worked for United Rentals.
Construction
Yeah,
equipment.
and
Okay.
and she worked
So she's down in D.C., but she's still very involved in the military. She's been in the military since she was 18. So
basically she's a badass.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
So so I'm discussing my issues with her with Devin, and and I'm crying to her. I'm like trying to figure out what to do. So I have a hard time figuring out what to
God.
do with Devin.
So dramatic.
So my sister goes, send her to me.
This was the worst week
I
of my life.
go, what? She goes, send her to me. And now Devin, it was Devin's Devin's not used to flying. So we go to this, I
So
went
much
to a
anxiety.
small airport, get her on a small plane, walk her on the plane, get her on the plane. She has to go through the airport by herself. She's got her bag, and off she goes. She thinks she's going for a long weekend down to D.C.
Yeah, I thought it
we
was
sent her
only
for
gonna be a
2
little bit.
weeks. I sent her for 2 weeks. She
I
went
thought it
down there for 2 weeks. Every morning she had to get up at 5 a.m.
It was fucking terrible. I don't work out.
My
I
sister
hate it.
got her on a regimen. She was like, she's all set. It's like,
It was the worst time of my life. Actually, not that's mean. I loved.
no,
when
you had a
Cara was
great time.
having
You
so
told
much
me
fun
about
with
how
her.
much fun you had.
But like we had a lot of fun times, but the mornings was the worst time of my life because she did not fuck around. She's like, "We're going to the gym. We were doing this. You were making your bed. You were cleaning your bathroom." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh my god."
She had
And I-
Devin scrubbing toilets
She no,
before
the-
she left for the day.
She had me doing weights to the point where I was crying at the gym. So I'm like, and she was just like, "Suck it up," and I'm like, "No." And then the worst thing that you can ever fucking do to I was 17.
Yeah.
She took
Just
me to
after
the
high
salon.
school. It was just after high school.
She took me to the salon. Mind you, my sister at the same exact time was on a flight to be at the, where did she go? Switzerland with Santina?
Oh.
To be pampered?
Do 5-star hotels.
Quite literally fucking pampered.
Yeah.
And I'm getting pictures from my sister and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, my mom
Shannon's
hates
in the
me.
Swiss Alps.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like my mom just really, she hates me. And at
No,
this point, I'm like, oh my
no.
God. But I mean, obviously.
You needed to know what it was like. You needed
Well, so
to
my-
have
How bad things could be.
yeah, military school discipline. Because I looked up military schools. I was
She almost
researching.
sent me to a rehab
My sister
school,
and
and I
I
was like,
were
I don't
not
even-
a rehab school.
It was a rehab school.
military school.
No. It was a rehab school for kids that smoked pot because I got caught smoking one time and I don't even like weed. And I was freaking out anyway. And you're like, that's it. She's going to this school. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to be sent to rehab. I smoked weed once. I was like, oh my God. But no, so the
It
worst
was
thing
the
that you
weed
can
and
do,
the attitude. Usually, when someone smokes weed, they calm down. They don't
No, I get anxiety. But
become.
yeah, I can't. I become very aware of my tongue, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna die, and like everything moves in slow motion, and I can't handle it, so I like start geeking out, and I'm like, no, I hate this. But no, so my version of getting pampered while I was in DC with my lovely aunt, I'm still mad at her about this, and she knows that. She cut my fucking hair to look exactly like hers.
She gave her the same haircut so they could be like twins because
She
Cara
didn't
thought
tell
it would
me.
be cool because Cara was really cool and Cara is absolutely gorgeous.
I thought she was like the
And-
coolest aunt until
yeah,
she cut
and
my
then she
fucking
got-
hair off. And I was like, ooh. I'm like, I had long blonde hair that I loved.
She had long blonde hair that she did love. But I mean, to be fair, I thought it looked beautiful on you. It did. It looked good on you.
I hated
But you
it.
came home, you were so angry about it.
I had braces
and then
and
I got
a
the wrath
balm.
of I got the wrath of Devin when she came back because she was so mad at me for one lying to her. Which
Yeah.
I did. She goes, "You said I was going for a long weekend. I was there for 2 weeks,
and I had to
it
help her
was-
plan her wedding. So you put me in the hands of Bridezilla as well.
Was
Because she was making
she
me.
planning her wedding then too?
Yeah, because I picked out their wedding song.
You did?
Not only did I pick their first child's name,
Middle name?
I picked, well, no, her whole name. I picked Riley Devin.
Oh.
But I picked her wedding song.
Oh.
But she, like, I remember she made the hairstylist turn me around and I was like, I don't trust this situation. I'm like, I really don't fucking trust this.
That's a Cara
And
thing.
she literally was like, I could see her, like, reflection.
In the
and
mirror?
I'm like, don't fucking do that. I'm like, do not cut all that off. And she's like, your hair's really fluffy. I'm like, because it's summer and it's humid as fucking DC. So no one's hair is going to be silky smooth at that point. My hair is never like that. It's never fluffy. You guys all have fluffs. She lied to me and was like, it's not healthy. I'm like, yes, it is. I
Yeah.
got this professionally done.
Yeah.
So no. And she literally just like cut it. And I was like, you can go. But
Yeah.
kind of funny, I was drinking down there one time because she took me out with some of her friends and
Her
she had
work
this
friend?
like really awesome like gay guy that she was friends with. And I was like, I love him. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's my favorite. So when we
Yeah.
were out at the bar with her friends playing pool and stuff, he kept being like, here's a shot, honey.
Oh my God.
Here's a shot. You've been living with Cara
Cara
for 2
would-
weeks. Here's a shot. And then like he slept over Car's apartment, and he
Yeah.
had like cigarettes and stuff. And I was like, "Can I have one?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we're like outside. And he's like, "So it's the boy stitch." And I
Where was
like, I
Cara?
fucking
She
love
lived
it.
in this world's smallest apartment there. Like, where was she?
She was sleeping. She went to bed.
Oh, Cara. Rookie mistake.
Don't leave me
Yeah.
around.
Oh, don't leave
especially
Devin
around,
awake.
Especially around a guy that's like, hey,
Somebody
have some
who she
shots.
knows that,
And I'm like,
yeah, will
this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you be a bad influence on me somehow.
will contribute to her teenage.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Angst,
No,
rebellion,
degeneracy.
and
That's the
rebellion.
word I was looking for. Teenage degeneracy.
I thought it was such a rebel for like no fucking reason. Like I wasn't doing
Rebel
anything
without
that
a
was like-
clue.
yeah. Remember my first tattoo? My
It
skull.
looks like a squid. Still looks like a squid.
It doesn't look like a squid.
Looks like a squid.
It's a skull and crossbones.
I didn't know what it was. You showed it to me. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And you were all proud of yourself. I was like, no.
I copied it from a keychain. I literally had a keychain that I was like, I really like this skull and crossbones. It's super cute.
She's a
and
lady.
I made my friend take me to Route 9 tattoo, and I was
Route
like,
9
give me
tattoo.
a skull on my hip. Now everybody, actually, this is the best nickname I've ever had for it. My friend saw it for the first time, and he was like, what is that for? Poison puss? And I was like, yes.
That's right.
I was like, it's a death trap. I'm like, oh my God. But it was the best nickname I've ever had for like a tattoo in my life. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, that's kind of
Where'd
what
you
it
get the
seems like.
scissors?
That's a different story. That was when I was dating Mustang Boy. And
Where did you get them done, though?
in Framingham, like
Not
down-
at the Route 9 tattoo place again.
No,
So,
I wish
different
I
place?
went there. They would have done me right. They
Yeah,
did me dirty
better.
with the scissors.
Yeah.
I need to get them removed.
Well, not removed. You can get them fixed. You
They're-
need to get them fixed.
They're so fucking bad.
Yeah.
That I don't think anything can fix
You can.
it.
They can do something around them or something. Somebody. I bet you anything if you looked into it.
Mom, they're
somebody could fix
giant
them.
looking rusty kitchen scissors on my back. When I asked the guy for, I'm obsessed with Tim Burton films. Obsessed. Nightmare Before Christmas is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love Edward Scissorhands because I'm like, oh my God, yes, murder in hairstyling, slice your throat. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, there have been some instances where I'm cutting someone's hair and I'm like, God, you're such a bitch.
I could just nip off part of your ear.
I'm like, oops, cut you. Sorry. Don't come back. Otherwise, I love my job. But at that point, I'm like, rah. But like, my intentions were for them to be like these really cool, like, I wanted like a what's the word for it? Like antique. I want an antique looking
gotcha.
shears.
Okay.
And I did not get that.
No.
This kid free-handed the fuck out of this. And I'm
There's
sitting
like
there.
angles, like where there shouldn't be angles, and I was
He
looking
never
at
looked
it. I
at
was like, "This
this
isn't."
kid never looked at a pair of hair shears in his life. If someone's telling
Yeah,
you
they
I
look
need
like
hair
big
scissors
scissors.
on my back, not rusty
Not hedge
fucking
clippers.
kitchen, like it looked like Granny's like kitchen scissors from my childhood, just metal, terrifyingly rusty scissors that you don't want near anything, and now they're on my back for life.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's
Well,
such a bad idea.
You can get it fixed. And sometimes certain tattoos are a bad idea.
Most of mine were in questionable places too. Like not
God.
only was like the tattoo shop in downtown Framingham just like literally like there were dudes playing video games on the couch. It was not. I really should have thought more about it. I was 19 and it was like it looked like a very dirty situation.
I
And,
could
like,
get a little Hep C
yeah, I'm
in
like
here.
all I could think of was what if I got Hep C? Like thank God I didn't because my doctor tested me for it because I was like, listen, I've gotten some tattoos in some weird places. I feel like I need to be tested for this disease or I'm gonna die. But luckily, you know, I was fine. But it was really sketchy. And me and my ex got tattoos on the same day. And what was
Did
funny
you get
though?
matching tattoos?
No, he got like a really fucking awful sleeve with like remember those stars that were like black and white?
Yeah.
He got all of those all over his arm. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. And like I was like giggling and laughing while I was getting my tattoo because I was like, whatever, this doesn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
And he was like, how are you laughing? And I'm like, just I don't care. It feels like an eraser on your skin. It doesn't like the pain from that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But well, I'm not gonna say his name.
You did.
I did.
That's
Oops.
all right.
Whatever. He can go fuck himself. Yeah, all right, good. But
We don't care. We call him Mustang.
I will call him Mustang. Actually, remember the song? Don't Come Back No More, No More, when he broke up with me? It was so sad.
So one morning.
No,
this
but
is
listen.
okay,
listen, I'm
finish
not
this
done
up
yet.
because there's a whole nother story about that.
He was crying while he was getting his tattoo, and that was the funniest thing to me. I was like, "Are you crying?" He's like,
very sensitive. Man.
"No." I'm like, "Oh, you are crying." I was like, "There are little bitch tears coming from your eyeballs right now, like little bitch tears, and it's not cute." I was literally just like, "I'm kind of turned off right now."
So
Awful.
I'll tell you how I found out that Devin and them broke up.
We didn't break up at that point. That
Oh,
wasn't
they
the
didn't break up at that point.
I was mad
So
at him.
one morning, I'm walking out to get in my car to go to work one morning, and my iron is smashed to bits on my front lawn. And I'm like, what the hell is my iron doing out here? And what is going on? How did my iron get out on the front lawn?
He was still at the house when you found it too, because he's the one that told you what happened, not me.
Nobody told me what happened. It was I was going to work and I saw it and I took it and threw it away. And then when I got home, I was like, my iron was on the front lawn, and you were like, oh,
No, He
right.
slept over, and because like we made up, but what happened was I was supposed to bring the iron for a party that we were having. It was supposed to be a fancy party, but he was flirting with another girl the entire night, who he ended up cheating on me with. So like I was fucking right, intuition.
Whatever. Why did my iron suffer for it?
I threw it at him on the street.
I thought you were going to say the guy broke.
She threw it at him.
He was
Precious over
walking.
here.
I looked at him and I was
Devin
like,
was good at throwing things. She's got a good arm.
Yeah, I actually really do. But he was like telling me, he's like, I wasn't flirting with her. I wasn't flirting. I was like, yeah, you were the entire fucking night. I was like, this is supposed to be our fancy night, and you were with this ugly bitch with half her head shaved and gauged ears. I was like, really? Out of all people, you look for her? I was like, okay, whatever. And so we're getting out of the car, and he's like walking up to like our front door.
How tall was she?
She was shorter than me.
Yeah. Okay. So was, but anyway.
I've dated a lot of guys that were shorter than me, and it was fine. But
I know.
when
I
he
know
was
it was
walking
fine, but
towards-
some of them get little complexes after a while. You know.
yeah, I think he definitely had a complex. But whatever. We were walking towards the house, and I just turned around and I was like, "Fuck you!" and I slammed it down at his feet. So I didn't like throw it at him because I didn't want to hurt him, but I wanted to scare him and be like, "This is how mad I am right now."
Was it hot?
No. It wasn't
It's
plugged
very
in. It was
heavy.
on the outside,
Okay.
but it was really heavy. It was like an old ass
I'm
iron.
surprised he didn't have an iron mark on his face. I am.
He's lucky he didn't.
Yeah.
I was really mad at him. And then come to find out, actually, this is like a whole different, this went from prom to now I'm 19, and this was when I was in beauty school. During his birthday party, I had bought him like a wicked expensive bottle of whiskey, and like a couple of our friends chipped in for it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this girl comes up to me and starts apologizing to me for banging my boyfriend, and I was like, at his birthday party?
Wow.
I'm like, you... And I looked at him and was like, so, you fucked her? I was like, okay. And then then like
All right. Now I understand.
hammered. Yeah. And he's hammered. So he starts throwing up, and I go in the bathroom, and I'm like, really? I'm like, we've been together for like a year and a half, and you're going to like pull this shit? I was like, that's really fucked up. I'm like, oh my God. Because at that point, he was like a part of our family. So it was kind of like, I was
around
really
a lot,
pissed.
Yeah.
And
he came to
my
Margarita's
aunt's wedding. Yeah. So I was like, really? And I was like, you could have just broken up with me and not done that.
Right.
But I remember I looked at his phone, and that was when like iPhones would show like your texts and stuff whenever anybody was texting you. And she was like, I wish I was banging you right now. And I was like,
Ew.
ugh. And like, he's throwing up, and I was like, fucking serious? And I'm like, are you
You
kidding
should
me?
have FaceTime. You really
No,
want
I was literally like,
here
yeah,
he is puking.
him, he's throwing up. And I was just trying to comfort him, even though I'm yelling at him at the same time. Like,
now
you're
I'm
gonna
just
be
gonna
fine.
stick his head.
Prince Charming.
Yeah, I
Prince
was like,
Charming.
you're
In the toilet.
so
I'm just gonna
wonderful.
jam his head into his
Yeah,
in
I
the
was like,
toilet.
I might
'Cause
drown
that
you in
would have
your-
been an Emer thing. I would have stuck his head
I
right
almost
in the
drowned him
toilet.
in his own vomit. But then my friend, who I'm still really close friends with to this day, he comes running towards the bathroom because he hears us fighting, and like, well, we have to edit out his name. But
No, we don't.
Well,
you can
okay,
say his
well,
last
he-
name. You can say anything you want so long as it's true.
All right. Well, he pushed me into like the cabinet because I was yelling at him, and I was like, "Oh, you put hands."
Did?
Yeah. And so I started screaming at him even more because he pushed me, and I was like, fuck you. Like, I'm going to call my and I was like, don't make me call my and I did it because my friend came in and he tried to open the door and I pushed it shut because I was like, nope, he's going to hear it from me. And my poor friend, his finger got stuck in the door and it literally popped open.
Ew.
Yeah. He was not pleased with me at that point, but I was like,
yeah.
I'm really sorry that I hurt you, but I'm really angry at this person. And then like I had my ex-boyfriend come pick me up from the house and take me home.
Who was that?
I made Doc come get me.
Oh, God.
I was like, come drive me out, because he would still do anything I asked him to do at that point. Oops. But he drove me home.
Yeah, oops. Makes mom want to vomit.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, I used him as like an errand boy.
Oh, God, whatever.
Anyway, he drove me home, and then the next day I had to go back for my blazer. And I'm at the house, and I'm like, because I had his old car. And I was like, do you know what you did last night? You pushed me into the wall. And I got like really angry with him. And he started crying and felt like super bad. And everybody started waking up and like, oh God, Devin's back. Oh God, she's back. Oh my God. And I was literally like, motherfuckers.
She's back and she's so
angry. And I was
sober and angry.
It was really bad. And like, I had a PA system in my car.
She
that he
actually
had put in.
knows what she's about to do and has actually thought about it, so be afraid.
Yeah, but again, I was 19. I'm very different now. I'm not as crazy as I was.
Thank God you're not anything like that anymore.
No, but
thank God.
Once I had my son, I calmed down.
Yeah.
But
well, you also grew up and took yourself out of stupid situations where people were so immature and dumb and, you know,
douchebags.
And
I surrounded myself with asshole men.
Yes, and you started to surround yourself with better people when you got older, because I kept telling you, we kept coaching you in this. You need to surround yourself with people who are good, people who will push you in the right direction, people who are good for you, and not people who are mean, who are abusive, or, you know, just take advantage. And you learned it. Took you a really long time.
I mean, decent amount of time. But, I mean, hello, daddy issues.
You figured it
That's
out.
why I have so many necklaces that say, like, daddy on it, because I'm like, haha, I got daddy issues. But, no, I remember I showed up and I had a PA system on my car that I could yell at people.
I remember that.
And my tint was 14% tint. I love this car. We called her Baby Blue.
Yeah, that's right.
Her black hood, her 14% tint, and the PA. So I showed up and I was like, get your ass outside. And I literally was yelling on the PA until someone opened the door for me. And I tried to pull it out to throw it at you. I was like, I'm going to throw it at you.
What, the iron?
No, the PA system.
The PA system. Okay.
Yeah, but that was, that was beauty school days. So we literally went from prom to beauty school, super angry. But what was really funny about all that was like all of my friends were dating the same group of guys, and all of us broke up with them at the same time because we were like, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Like, all the beauty school girls were like, nope, they're all dicks.
I'm glad they all stuck together.
We did. We were like a little like girl gang, like, nope, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
All these people too grew up to, like, some of them grew up to be like really chilled and like nice, but like I swear, like, they still, when they see me out, they automatically assume that I'm like the same exact human as I was when I was 19. I'm like, you literally don't know me at all anymore. I'm like, I'm sorry that you saw me as a very rageful person, but again, 19-year-old girl getting cheated on for like the 1,000th time because my high school boyfriend did it like, all the time. Like, he banged everyone, even my friends. And then, well, poor Danny never cheated on me. I just, like, broke his heart. He was a nice boy.
He's a nice boy.
He's still very nice.
Yeah.
That basement was the best party.
Yeah.
Like, we had a bar,
I've seen
couch,
photos from
big screen TV.
From kids that I worked with. And, like, Jose showed me a picture. At work, and this kid that I worked with who was an intern, and he shows me a photo of himself in high school holding a red Solo cup, and I look at it, I go, that's my pool table and that's my light. When were you in my basement?
Shannon, she was smart though.
He's like, we used to go to parties there all the time. I'm like, what?
She charged a cover for parties.
Oh,
it was
God.
$5 a person, so she would make money off of parties.
Okay,
I was
so
like, that is so smart. I should have done shit like that. But
things I don't
instead-
want to know about. So you.
Well, this is the
when
whole
are you
entire
gonna-
point of
when are
this
you,
podcast.
When are you going to start apologizing to me?
I'll apologize at the end when I'm done
one
purging.
apology.
You get one apology for all of it.
I think we're done. I
No.
think it's been
I
over
just have
30
one
minutes.
last thing to add.
And she's going to keep on
One
torturing
last thing
me.
to add. One last thing to add. There
Okay.
was one epic party that I have to talk about
Oh,
because
God.
people know so much about this.
Really? Do I really need to know?
Yes.
Is it also an incriminating thing we have to look up the statute of limitations on?
Not really.
Okay, I hope
So
not.
I get a lawyer in here.
I think I have some friends that are lawyers now.
No, she doesn't.
Pickles is a lawyer. Remember Pickles? So me and did this thing called the Gauntlet, where everybody that brought a bottle of alcohol to our house, there was probably like 20, and me and him had to do a chase of. We had to drink from every single bottle, and I kicked his ass at it, and I was really fucking proud of that. So I got dubbed crazy white bitch.
Yeah.
By
Were you
his
were you
friends.
passed out on the floor afterwards? Could you get up the next day? Like
No,
what?
first-
alcohol
first what I did-
poisoning?
No, you did. You picked me up in my bedroom floor and lifted my head and smacked me down. I remember that.
Well, you
But-
probably deserved it.
I did.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing that happened that night was that was when I had broken up with high school boyfriend, and I had like a bunch of his old clothes, and his old like bestie and I had a little bonfire in the backyard.
Did you burn his clothes?
We burned his clothes, and then we
Okay.
put him in a plastic bag, and then he peed in the plastic bag. And then we went to his house, left it on his doorstep, and I left a note, and I was like, "Hey, you can go fuck yourself." And it was funny because like the girl that he had like broken up with me for was also ex.
Yeah, yeah.
So me and him were like double whammy. We just told them both to go fuck themselves, and here's some pee on it. You're at it. Just piss on the breakup. So I mean, I guess if you think about it, yeah, it was kind of, there's a lot of fun back in the day making
Oh
people
man,
tortured. I feel like I just went through so many breakups.
you did.
Yeah, I dated people. Oops.
We talk about that next time. Devin's
My history
limitations. Her limitations when she puts the she goes out and buys
My
herself some
3-month
new
rule.
kicks, and just takes off. Yeah,
of breakups. 3-month rule.
3-month rule.
If I don't like you after 3 months, you're out.
You're out.
So there's a lot
You're
of
gone.
breakups
Yeah.
there. Whoops.
Yeah,
But,
you got 3 months to prove yourself.
I
That-
am sorry for, destroying your home a few times, being a bitch during prom. Mm-hmm. Not sorry for drifting somebody out into a lake. I don't regret that at all.
'Cause I probably would have done.
You
worse
would have done the
than-
same thing or worse. So, I was just following in my
After
mother's
what he did,
footsteps.
yeah.
So, But yeah, I'm sorry, especially for the braces. That one I'm the most sorry for.
You should be.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
fine.
love you.
I forgive you.
You have so many things that you're going to have to forgive me for. I love you, though.
I love you too.
So thank you for listening to our rambles and craziness of all the shitty things that I put my family through and friends through, too. Jesus, I apologize to them, too. Because,
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get a third party on here.
Yeah, actually, before we wrap it up, I have 2 friends from my work that want to guest star on here. They were like, "Can we
Guest
come on,
star.
guest star or whatever?" Like they were like, "Can we make an appearance on it?" Because all
Who
of us
is
are
it?
crazy. Dre and Sammy.
Oh, DeRay, I
DeRay,
definitely need.
I
yeah,
absolutely love.
DeRay
She's
Needs to
crazy.
apologize to her mother for sure.
Bring all your friends and
Dre's
their
not.
mothers on here. We
Oh my
gotta
God,
She,
I
oh,
should.
DeRay, her friend DeRay is.
She's a wild one, and I
she's-
absolutely love her.
She's stunning.
She
And,
looks like Rihanna, basically.
She looks like Rihanna. She's stunning.
Yeah.
She's wild. She's got a big heart. She's very fun. She's very crazy.
and I love
But,
it.
Yeah.
We're very similar. We actually
Yeah.
have kids the same day. Like they're a day and a year apart.
Yeah.
And like they're very like they get along really well too and everything. But like she's fucking hilarious. So is Sammy. And they're like,
Yeah.
"We need to come on." And I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "We'll just have it all
Okay.
happen and then torture my mom a little bit and it'll be great."
Dre
And then
can tell me
we
that
can
maybe she's done
FaceTime.
something worse.
She's done a lot worse than what I've
Then
done.
Devin and I shouldn't feel so bad.
Dre will make you feel like
Like
I'm
I had
an angel baby.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I mean that, and I love her, but
Yeah.
she will make you feel like I'm an angel baby because they literally look at me like I'm sheltered. So
Yeah.
watch out. because,
Okay.
Yeah.
God help us all.
But again, thank you for
Yeah.
listening. And Mother, I am so sorry that I tortured you a lot.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.